مؤلف لي يا أخي في صحبتي.
Today in Gaza, Israeli warplanes have attacked many different sites and killed over 185 people and injured many hundreds and destroyed many people's homes and livelihoods. That damage will run into hundreds of millions of pounds. First of all, I want to pay my tribute and my condolences and prayers to the Palestinian people who've died and are injured, their families and their friends. They're in our thoughts and prayers during their difficult and dark hour. And secondly, I want to make a very strong statement of condemnation against the Israelis. Collective punishment and the killing of innocent people in this indiscriminate way and does not help achieve Israel's goal of acceptability in the international community. I believe that human life is sacred, whether there is Muslim life, whether there is Israeli life, and whether there is Palestinian life. Human life in itself is sacred. So when we see terrorist attacks here in London, or we see terrorist attacks in Mumbai or Washington or New York, or we see terrorist attacks, state-sponsored terrorist attacks like this in Israel and Palestine, then we have to say the same thing, that Muslim lives should be as valuable as non-Muslim lives, as Western lives. And what is going on at the moment in Gaza is a war crime, and there's no two ways about that. And Israel, who supposedly came into being as a result of the oppression that the Jewish people suffered at the hands of the Nazis in the Holocaust. I mean, that's a reality. It happened. And you would think that for a community that has suffered from the oppression and genocide and indiscriminate killing just because of the fact that they were Jewish, would actually think now that when their own government in Israel is launching these state-sponsored terrorist attacks that are killing innocent people, not for no other reason, just because they're Palestinians and they live in Gaza. And I think that the Israelis should hang their head in shame. Not only are they breaking international law and morality, but they're doing exactly the same thing that Hitler did in the run-up to the World War II. And I'm really saddened by that. And I think that violence is not the solution for this crisis. And if Israel continuously thinks that it can go around, showing its might and showing its, military power constantly and breaking international law, then they've got another thing coming. And the people in Palestine are oppressed. They want freedom. They want justice. And above all, they want dignity. And they don't want to be punished for something somebody else done. Let me give you a quick example. You have, in a block of houses where you live in your neighborhood, you have a thief or a pedophile or a sex offender, and the authorities, the government, the military come in and destroy the whole street. Not because the whole street are criminals, but because one criminal lives amongst the community. That's idiocy.